If there's one thing we've learned about business and life, it's that people are the X factor. They constantly surprise us, both in amazing ways and not so much. We're Ben and Syya, and welcome to the Gnaw on This Business Bites podcast. This show is all about real life things we all deal with every day, how they relate to business, and how to make some sense out of our daily chaos. Welcome to the show. And welcome back to another episode of Gnaw on This Business Bites. I'm Ben, and this is Syya. And I started thinking about it this day because you're seeing on the internet people that are willing to do anything for the fountain of youth. And I realize this is not anything new. But we've gone beyond Botox. We've gone beyond the oil of Olay serum. We're getting into people spending hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars chasing, body reconstruction, chamber, cryogenic chambers, all sorts of different things, hoping to live forever. And all I can think about is the movie Highlander, who wants to live forever. Like, do we truly and absolutely want to be a society that lives to 150 years, that lives to 200 years? Some people I know think this is incredible. My attitude is no. Like, I think it's an amazing thing that if we can live a century, if we can live with a healthy body, a healthy soul, and a healthy mind for a century and be able to enjoy grandkids, be able to watch the world evolve, be able to see incredible things change in the world. But I don't want to be here forever. I don't want to, my half-life to be 85 years old. To me, I don't have this overwhelming need to stay alive for forever. Syya, let's gnaw on this.
Who wants to live forever?
It's a good question.
It is a great question, and no, that I had to whisper that because I would belt it out, but everyone would really leave. Everyone would really leave this show right now. Look, I'm going to take the counter side to this.
Okay,
but with an asterisk. Okay,
there has to be an asterisk. There always is an asterisk.
There always is. So I do want to live forever.
Good for you.
Asterisk.
Yes.
But there's a caveat to that. There's two different things, two different perspectives on my I want to live forever. Yes. Okay. Number one for Syya is I want to live forever if I am physically well to live for that 160 plus years or whatever, how many years of existence. I don't want to live forever in a bed.
Right. Oh no.
Right.
If you're tied to an oxygen mask and a catheter tube, that's not a life.
So as long as I can actually live, experience life, and continue to grow and learn, I actually do see what an incredible gift to live longer. Right. I don't know. Forever is a real thing because well, here's a question I should have asked. If I can live forever, does that mean everybody else can live forever, or am I the only one living forever?
That's the trick. Because I remember the movie The Green Mile. And his curse was that he kept living, and he outlived his wife, and he outlived his kids, and he outlived his grandkids. The Green Mile? Look it up.
I've never seen it.
Okay. Oh God, come on!
Did he get executed?
As much as you are a music buff, I'm a movie buff. Okay?
Movie buff. Okay,
I'm the movie buff. It was with Tom Hanks, and it's an incredible movie. Look it up. I'm not going to give you anything, but the curse was that he outlived everybody that he loved.
Mm-hmm.
And to me would be the world's worst thing, is to all of a sudden outlive your kids or outlive your grandkids, to outlive the people that were part of your world or were part of your zeitgeist. And all of a sudden, you're just this being that it just continually lives and you don't know when that's going to end. But on the other hand, if everybody lives forever, do we become a world of 20 or 50 billion people? Do we stop procreating? Do we, how do we manage, work? Do people work till they're 120 years old? How do you deal with pensions? How do you deal with healthcare systems? How do you deal with, social services, with policing, with all sorts of different things if we all are living 1, 2, 3, 400 years? Basically what it does is it takes our entire world and turns it on its head.
Well, it doesn't give you purpose to live.
There is no purpose to live. And
There's
the
no,
thing is you sit there and say, if a 20-year life sentence in the prison sentence because you went and killed somebody, well, 20 years is a moment in time. So what are the ramifications and the constructs in society if you will live forever?
Yeah.
And what are you willing to do that you wouldn't be willing to do today? And how does this change what's right and what's wrong? I just see all these certain things in an esoteric way, in a philosophical way, and go, there needs to be like trees eventually rot and fall in the forest, and new trees grow. And it's because those new trees grow that the ecosystem changes and evolves and becomes different and becomes better. And I think that if all we're doing is hanging on to the old constructs, new constructs never will evolve.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. So, but okay. So that's a physical, right? Living forever. What about virtually living forever? And that was like my part 2 was I didn't procreate. I don't have children.
No.
So I do have, in a way, know in my own mortality, I will become a birth date, death date, end of the chain, end of the tree, and no one will remember me ever again, right? Unless you do something to be memorable, right? Because you're only alive for as long as you're remembered.
Yes.
I mean, I don't know what quote that is or whomever it is, but I think that's very real. Like, because the second they forget about you,
there's another movie, Coco.
Oh, is that what Coco's about?
That's what Coco's about.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm singing "Simple Minds." Don't you forget about me. So there we go.
There's another thing that I'm thinking about.
But yeah, so maybe that's why. Because
do we live through our legacy and through I'm a big believer of my world becomes better when I enable other people to become better versions of themselves. And for them to coach and train the next generation to enable those people to be better. That to me is legacy, is being able to have ideas and thoughts and abilities live beyond my 80, 90, 100 years that I have on this earth. And whether it's my children or my grandchildren, which I don't have yet, or the people that I meet, or the conversations that I have, or the people that I speak to on stage, you're right. As soon as my ideas stop being shared, you become irrelevant, and you become the question is, how many of us are truly and absolutely going to be remembered in 100, 200, or 300 years? I would say 99% or 99.9% of the world will become totally and absolutely irrelevant in 300 years. How many of us know the stories of our great-grandparents? How many of us know the stories of our grandparents?
How about their names? How many of them know
Even
their names?
Yeah.
I mean, it's,
or where they were born, or when they came to, North America, if they came to North America, and why, what was the impetus that brought them here, and what were the challenges that they faced, and what did they do for a living, and how did your grandmother meet your grandfather? Most people don't know those stories.
No. And before you know it, they'll all go away just like that, like in a blink of an eye. Yeah. I mean, so who wants to live forever? I think there's the physical aspect, and then there is, like you say, the legacy aspect. So, but what's the motivation? Let's go back to the physical. The physical is more fun because when we think about it, like the intangibles, it's like, I think that could be its own topic on its own. Is what is
Yes.
your legacy, right? Um, so that's a new topic we should talk about. Is what would your obituary say? No, legit. Oh, that'd be really interesting. Okay, going back to Highlander.
Here lies Ben. He drove everybody everywhere, and sometimes crazy.
Here lies Syya. She talked a lot.
There we go.
All right. So, live forever. I think, yeah. If the people around you can live with you, so at least it gives you someone that like you don't lose the people you love, right? Mm-hmm. Like, I think that's okay. I could live forever, and assuming that everyone has good health, right? Okay. But okay, let's assume we all have good health, that everyone can choose if they want to depart this mortal coil or not, but at least all your loved ones that, they're not dying and you're alone by yourself and having to regenerate relationships, right? These people are with you.
Or we all regenerate into some, our consciousness is streamed into some database somewhere.
Okay, that's Westworld. Or you could think of Kurt Vonnegut, where it is your consciousness gets moved into a younger body.
Yes. So there's all these esoteric thought processes beyond that.
Jeez Louise. Okay, let's go back to the Kurt Vonnegut, and I totally forgot what the book. So basically, the basis of it is you get older, and then you go into you have your choice. I don't know what his deal was. Howard Johnson's like he.
It wasn't Slaughterhouse 5, was it?
Is it Slaughterhouse 5? I can't
remember. Somebody fact check on me like that. That's the only book I'm thinking of off the top of my head.
I think it very well might be, because it's one of my favorite stories from Kurt. But anyway, you basically go into this like a farm type building, and then you walk in and you can see all these different bodies, and you pick, and then once you do it, you now become like an other or something, what they call it, and then you walk around with a younger body. Yeah. But the question fundamentally is this, well, at least for his story, it was he wanted to do it, his wife didn't. His wife just wanted to gracefully age and just go. He wanted to live forever within the young body. But here's my question to you. Are you still the same person if you're not in the original body that you were in?
I think that your experiences become very different. I mean, I look at the movie Soul, the Disney movie Soul, and everybody could look at that up. It says when we transfer from one body to another, we gain the experiences of whatever that entity is, and lose part of ourselves. And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. The question is, do we fundamentally remember the experiences from the previous thing, or do they just become embedded into our psychology and become underlying pinning factors of how we do things, but we don't consciously remember our previous experiences?
You're talking about reincarnation now at this point.
There we go.
So if we want our soul to be recycled in a way where the essence of our beings is probably all still fundamentally there. Maybe like our core values is all fundamentally there, but perhaps maybe the way we exhibit it in another body, because of our different experiences, it might shape our responses slightly differently, but at least at the core of who we are, it's kind of fundamentally all there. I mean, I'd like to think that if it is something where I remember and retain all my experiences of my time as Syya in this Asian body, and I move on into Syya 2.0 into a younger version of my body, right? And it's still my visage, then I could see where it's like, okay, it's the same. But if I turn into like, suddenly now I am blonde, blue-eyed Syya, it's going to fundamentally change who you are, soul, because your experience is really going to be different. Maybe that's why I'm arguing the reincarnation. That's why we maybe forget our past lives, because whatever mechanism doesn't want to color your current experience with whatever, racism I've experienced as an Asian person versus if I was a blonde, blue-eyed male with different, you know what I mean? And that's the other thing. Okay, if you could bounce bodies, would you go for this spin? Like, I'm just gonna have some fun as a male or a female? I don't know, dude. That's kind of a weird thing to think about.
So let's quickly bounce to the other thought process, and I think, and leave it there, is the thought process of legacy and we live beyond our own years based on the experiences we impart on others, and the teachings that we bring to others. And to me, that to me is the more practical and more realistic way of creating a legacy.
Sure.
Is to sit there and say, how do we go beyond our own selfish needs and enable others to become better versions of themselves? How do we bring the best angels out in others? And how do we allow others to learn from the good, the bad, and the ugly that has been part of our lives, and the lessons that we've learned from all of them? And I think those of us who consciously go there, whether it's with our own family or with, university students, or mentor people in school, mentor people in work, wherever we do it, and we sit there and say, how do I become a vessel, and how do I become someone that enables other people to live better, richer lives? I think we create a legacy that will make the world a better place and live far beyond our time our mortal time on this planet.
Oh, I love it. We could keep. I know this is another topic, audience. I know everyone's really feverishly, and I apologize, guys. But I think that's a great place for us to stop on here because, hey, shout out, Sincera Earl. Oh shoot,
Sincera Earl. Okay, we can't go all four names here.
No, it's Sincera. I forgot your last name, Sincera. I am so sorry. Okay, that's fine. He probably might not want the shout out either. But Sincera, thank you for the inspired topic for us. Community, keep throwing us ideas of what you want to hear. And by the way, like and subscribe, you guys. We don't promote on YouTube, but it's kind of, I'm not going to lie, we really need to start pushing YouTube to, I think we've got 3 followers on YouTube. Could we get some followers on YouTube as well as LinkedIn, guys? We really appreciate it. It really helps us.
Absolutely. So let's leave it there. I'm Ben.
And I'm Syya.
And we'll see you soon.
Hey. Thanks for listening to another episode of Gnaw on This, Business Bites. If you liked what you heard, we most humbly ask that you like, share, and hit that subscribe button. And if you want to communicate more effectively within your organization, contact Ben at yourbrandmarketing.com or me at brilliantbeammedia.com. We can help you build your community, brand awareness, and personality through digital content and podcasting. We cannot wait to hear from you. So see you next week for another episode of Gnaw on This, Business Bites.